Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be taking my first look at a NXEdge style figure. This is the Banshee in destroy mode. This is NXEdge number 16, so there's been quite a few of them out now. I've been avoiding it just because I typically don't really like this kind of figure things. I just prefer to build stuff on my own, but I started to look at these as another opportunity similar to Converge figures, where I think I could do some nice work kind of detailing these up, adding some waterside decals, painting in some of the details and things like that, and making it look like much nicer than it is. So I think I may try that, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll get it out of the box and see what I think I might be able to do with it. And if it goes well, there's definitely a few other ones that I would like. The XS Gundam, the Mark V, those two in particular, I would definitely like to take a look at. So the Crossbone Phantom as well, I would really like to take a look at as well. So we'll see if this all goes well. As you can see around the box, some really nice box art design around here as always. So that's looking very cool. One reason why I got the Banshee was, number one, I just like the Banshee, and number two was that it was on sale. I think this was on sale for something like 16 or 1800 yen, something along those lines, so less than $20, which is not too bad for... It's a fairly sizable figure like this, definitely more than double the size of a Converge kit, so Converge figure. We have a stand here, arms for the kind of arm parts for the stand. As you can see here, we have our figure and one effect part here, which is cool. All of these NXEdge style figures do come with cool effect parts, which is nice. So there's that, and you could make your inferences about what that looks like. I'll leave that up to you. And then in here you have the whole Banshee, and then the Armed Armor VN here for his arm. Sorry, BS. This would be Armed Armor BS. The VN's on this side. Seems we'll just plug that into the arm very simply. And there it is. Oh, there is instructions. Never mind. We'll take a look at that then. Here's just about mounting that on the base. And let's see, for the effect part. Aha! This is, you have to combine the effect parts, or you can combine the effect parts. It says you can combine this with the effect part from the NXEdge Style Omegamon, which is sold separately, so you can connect that if you want. Otherwise, the effect part you can just, hopefully, I think you can just attach this on its own. Yeah, there's a little peg on the bottom side of that, so you'll just attach this. It doesn't actually plug into the Armed Armor VN itself, you just have to plug it onto a separate peg. So obviously one of the main differences from the Converge line here, aside from the size, they're in a kind of similar proportions to the Converge figures, but of course the main difference is going to be that they are very articulated. So let's check out what articulation we've got here. The head can only go up to about there, which is not too good, but down can go all the way down to there. That's some very extreme neck movement there. And of course, side to side. One thing about the Psycho frame, it's in this very neon orange plastic. It's not really very like translucent as we have usually with the different kits. It's pretty opaque, so it's kind of weird looking. But I suspect, and let's try it out now with the UV light, that this is going to light up pretty nicely. So yeah, under UV light you can see that orange plastic is lighting up very nicely, so this will look pretty cool. Unfortunately, the eyes don't light up. Really would have been nice if they would have painted the eyes in some sort of paint that would also be equally as reactive, or just a red version of that, but unfortunately it seems that it's just only there, and then only on the front too. There's none of that in the backpack, which is pretty disappointing, so that is just kind of a shame. And on the back of the shoulders even, so they didn't do any of the Psycho frame orange plastic here on the backpack, on the back of the shoulders, the back of the arm, in the back skirts. Yeah, that's disappointing. The other thing, of course, you're going to have with figures like this is these small little just nub marks, basically, from the production process. It's pretty soft, like vinyl plastic, so I'm pretty sure sanding that is maybe not going to do much help. You'd have to maybe like putty that and sand it and go through a whole process. So you could definitely remove that, but at that point you'd probably have to just be repainting the whole thing in order to get that to look better. The other thing that I might consider doing, if I really wanted to get ambitious and repaint the whole thing, would be filling in these empty gaps in the Armed Armor VN here. Those are kind of unsightly. The other thing about this that's kind of unfortunate is the Armed Armor VN fingers here don't spread out wide to the side. They're just locked in that position. You can move them forward and back like that, but that's all. The other thing, as you can see, is that the gold here is painted only on the outside, not on the inside of those little claws there. So that is just, you're just going to want to keep those pretty symmetrical if you want to kind of keep the illusion of that. Anyway, you can see there's a lot of added detail, all these little peniline details and things that the other kit versions of this do not have. But let's get back to the articulation. Here in the stomach section, there's no stomach crunch or anything. There's just some rotation here. The arm can be extended up to about 90 degrees. That's really about it. Forward and back, we have a little bit of motion there, kind of similar to a high grade where that shoulder joint will pull out to the front just a little bit. The shoulder armor can be moved up and down on its own like that. We've got rotation here in the arm. It's kind of blocked a little bit and the arm's going to come off. But this part of the back of the forearm is kind of getting in the way, a little bit of that. But the elbow joint is just a single joint. Will bend just about 90 degrees. You have that. And then the hands are just going to be on pegs. I'm sure those will just turn. We do have a hand inside the arm armor VN on this side as well. But it's just covered. Obviously, the hands for this kit not really going to be very useful for anything. The front skirts do move up and down on their own. The side skirts, however, don't really do anything. Those are just there, and again, no psychoframe plastic inside there on the side skirts. The back skirts are open, but again, no psychoframe plastic in there either. The back skirts are joined together, so those will move in tandem. Obviously, nothing here on the back pack is going to move. That's just stuck in the position like so. The legs will go out to about here, and then forward and back. Pretty well, I would imagine, and then a knee joint, which is kind of stiff, but we can get the leg up like that, so not a bad extension there for the knee. And then the ankle will also move up and down quite nicely. It looks like side to side, not too much. Up underneath the feet, some nice detail there, so that's nice. They didn't skip out, at least there underneath the feet. So here it is in use now. I gotta say, there's a couple of articulation points there in the arm, and there with the little clear stand there for the effect part comes in two separate pieces. You can connect those together. And all in all, the stand is functional, but it definitely took some work to get it to all kind of fit in the right way. The clear arms are just not quite long enough, even with the two of them together, and then you've got just a very limited space there. And the Banshee is just, by design, that armed armor VN is kind of long, so to get this long effect part onto there, it was not easy to get it into this position, but I was able to get that posed up anyway, and it does look pretty cool, I will admit. I think it'll definitely look cooler once we do get this detailed up and all of that. The Banshee itself, I think, is not really the best. Wasn't really the best option for me to choose to try to detail it up, just with it being so dark and ultimately not really all that many like little details and things you can paint it in terms of like little gray details here and there, or just little small color apps that are missing. Obviously there's the psycho frame on the back. If painting that in though, I would have to try to match that to the orange plastic on the front, which I don't know if I really want to do. In that case, I would probably just want to just repaint all of the psycho frame, even the parts that are showing on the front. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about doing this. When it comes down to it, I'll have to think about that. Overall, it's a really pretty cool thing. It seems very familiar to me if you compare this to the Assault Kingdom figures. If you guys ever had any Assault Kingdom figures, it seems quite similar to that. Definitely an improvement over the Assault Kingdom figures, a little bit more nicely detailed, and you just kind of get a little bit more bang for your buck. It seems like these are just overall nicer. But if you guys are familiar with the Assault Kingdom line, it seems quite similar to that. So overall, pretty positive experience with this. It's about what I expected, really, to be honest. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun to work on. So I'll have to give that a try. It'll be something that I'll be working on in the future anyway. If you guys do have any other questions or comments about this, if you guys have any experience with the NXEdge line, what do you think about it? Which ones do you have? Which ones do you recommend or maybe not recommend? I'm anxious to hear. I think the other ones that I'm more interested in getting, the XS Gundam, the Crossbone Ghost Phantom, the green one, and the Gundam Mark V, I think will probably be ultimately kind of more enjoyable for me. As much as I love the Banshee, I think just as a NXEdge figure, I think those other ones I'll probably enjoy more. So I'll definitely check out some more, I think, from the line. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this review, guys. Hopefully that was helpful, insightful. If you guys were interested in checking these out, this was just kind of a taste of kind of what you're going to get with these. Alright, one last thing you guys may be interested in seeing is a size comparison. So here he is compared with the real grade Banshee Norn. As you can see, it's about half the size and overall height compared to a 1/44 scale version. So pretty small, but definitely larger than a Converge figure. Heck, just for the sake of it, why don't we throw in a Converge figure Banshee there as well, so you guys can see the progression there of size. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey!
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.